In an age of endless criticism, Theodore Roosevelt would probably ask one question: what have you built? More than a century ago, Roosevelt warned about people who sit safely on the sidelines, criticizing those willing to take risks. Few Americans ever lived more boldly or with such a can-do spirit. He was a sickly child who transformed himself into a cowboy, a soldier, an explorer, a reformer, and president of the greatest country on earth. He charged up San Juan Hill, protected millions of acres of wilderness, battled powerful monopolies, and helped build the Panama Canal. But Roosevelt's greatest legacy may be the example he set for America. Roosevelt was born weak and plagued by severe asthma. Doctors told him to avoid exertion. He refused. Through boxing, hiking, weightlifting, and relentless discipline, he rebuilt himself physically and mentally. He later called this philosophy the strenuous life, the belief that struggle builds character. He believed strong nations require strong citizens, mentally, physically, and morally. To Roosevelt, strength wasn't about ego. It was about responsibility. In 1910, Roosevelt delivered one of the most famous speeches in American history. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. But who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows, in the end, the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly. Those words feel especially relevant today. He admired people who acted, even when they failed. He believed America became great because generations of builders, inventors, soldiers, and pioneers dared greatly instead of sitting back and complaining. America's greatest achievements came from those who took on the difficult, the monumental, the impossible, and Roosevelt believed that that spirit had to be protected. When war broke out with Spain in 1898, Roosevelt left a comfortable government position to volunteer for combat in Cuba. He helped form the Rough Riders, a diverse group of cowboys, miners, athletes, ranchers, and outdoorsmen from across America. At San Juan Hill, Roosevelt led from the front. He understood something important. Unity comes from shared sacrifice and shared purpose, not slogans. As president, Roosevelt attacked problems with relentless energy. He fought powerful monopolies, strengthened food and drug safety laws, and transformed conservation into a national mission. He protected roughly 230 million acres of forests, parks, and wildlife lands that still belong to the American people today. And when many thought the Panama Canal was impossible, Roosevelt pushed forward anyway, helping reshape global trade and America's place in the world. That was Theodore Roosevelt. See the challenge, act boldly, keep moving forward. Roosevelt believed criticism was cheap. What mattered was courage, effort, service, and action. And maybe that lesson matters more now than ever. For more stories like this, please visit starsoftheamericanstory.com.